over the years we have covered about how, the folks don't like really taking a lot of baths. They really don't. And this woman is going to point out why we take so many showers and why we so clean. I want you to hear her explanation why.
And do this in the most politically correct and kind and sensitive way. I truly agree with this statement. I think cleanliness is cultural. Why? Because I think that people who are of a darker skin tone were hundreds of years ago told that they were dirty. Now, obviously, that's completely racist and a terrible thing to say, but I think that it became embedded in that culture to always be clean and fresh, etc. You think about people of brown or black skin working in fields, working as slaves, etc. Whereas white people were never told that unless they were like of a lower class or like blue collar worker. I'm not saying I agree with any of this, and I realize that this is going to probably piss a lot of people off that I'm saying this, but I'm really trying to do this from the most politically sensitive perspective. I think there's a lot of validity in this comment because when I think back to my parents are both white. My dad's British. My dad literally sometimes showered once a week. He's a 6'4" white British man. He's never been called dirty in his entire life. He's never been told that he was dirty. He's never been told that his skin made him dirty. My mom literally probably showers 2 to 3 times a week. I just think this is really eye-opening.
No, it's not that we were, just dirty from the fields and so we want to take showers. Well, I mean, I hope you would want to take a shower after being in the field, no matter where you work, right? But the fact is, our people have always been clean. Even before, if you know the history of the world and know even African history, you would know that at minimum, we were showering twice a day. At minimum, once in the morning and once in the evening before you retire to bed. That was a cultural norm to be clean. And it is a cultural norm because I've seen this with a lot of people within her community that they don't like showers. They don't like a bath. They don't like it. Like that woman said her father only bathed once a week, maybe twice, and nobody called him dirty. Most people not going to go up to you and say you stink. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to and avoid you, right? But this is what I don't understand. You go outside your house all day. The sun is out, you're sweating or whatever. How do you just go lay up in your bed and sleep comfortable? You don't feel sticky, from the day or anything like that? But you got to also remember in European history, they felt you was being clean is changing your clothes and changing your linen. If you change your clothes and change your linen, that means you're being clean. They did not want to take baths or showers. They didn't want to do that. Remember back in that time period, especially medieval time period, when you got to the point that the Moors had conquered, parts of Europe, the first thing the Moors instituted was two showers. Take two a day. Then I saw they also instituted a 5-course meal. This is what they instituted because they were just eating all kind of ways over there in Europe. So when you hear about, when they talk about Western civilization, no, we civilized you and it still didn't work because you still on that not want to take a shower. Like I said, listen, I cannot be with no woman that didn't want to take no shower. You can't live in my house if you don't want to take no shower. Water's too cheap and soap is too cheap for you not to take that. No, listen, it's been, like I said, she's right. In our culture, we got to be clean. That's cultural. She's right about that. And in her culture, you don't have to be clean. When they're making videos in 2025, which on the podcast I covered this, when you're making videos in 2025 saying that sisters in Atlanta taught you how to bathe, being a grown woman in 2025, it is a culture at this point because that woman in the video was so shocked about how fly sisters were and how clean sisters were and all of that, and she wanted to be a part of that. Yeah, cleanliness is next to godliness. That's the way we're raised. Everything about the devil is dirty and filthy. Your house got to be clean. That sort of thing. But she's right. That woman is right. Cleanliness is cultural, and I'm glad it's part of our Black American culture. That's a beautiful thing, and we're going to keep that. You cut down a lot of disease that way if you stay clean. That's why in the pandemic, they kept telling them so much to wash their hands. And the reason why they kept telling them that, because they know them. They'll go to the bathroom and they'll wash their hands and walk right on out. Don't want to wash your hands. don't wanna take showers. My Lord, like I said, water is not gonna hurt you, but you be the first one to go to a pool or the beach. You want to be in the pool and you want to be in the beach, but you don't want to take a shower. Then some of their mindset is, well, if I got in the pool, that's like me taking a bath with all that chlorine. Like, no, it's not taking a bath. But like I said, hey, I couldn't be with nobody that has that kind of culture, and anybody who's smart, they wouldn't be with that either.